All right, welcome everyone to our Macchiato chat for June. My name is Jessica Healy. I'm the president for the Isle of Wight Chamber of Commerce. And I'm excited about today because we have come full circle. If you remember a year ago, we had our first Macchiato chat with Keith Compton and Kim Hasty, and here we are again.
Yay!
It's not deja vu. We have a new topic today. So thank you so much, Keith Compton, for being with us. Keith's out of the Edward Jones office in Carrollton. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
And Kim is with us today, our mortgage expert with CMS Mortgage Solutions. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Our topics today are veterans, right? So we're speaking to all you military folks out there, whether you recently retired or it's coming up, or even if you've just entered the military and that's going to be in your future. These are all points that are really good to know. So talking about VA loans, transitioning once you become a veteran, and what all that entails. So I'm going to go ahead and hand the mic off to Keith.
Awesome. Again, thank you to our Isle of Wight Chamber of Commerce for allowing us to do these little snippets, little discussions for our community. And that's the one thing that is so awesome about our chambers. They're sincerely focused on our community. So thank you guys for giving us this opportunity. My name is Keith Compton. I have the Edward Jones office in Carrollton. You can reach our office by either zipping down the road by obeying the speed limit, of course. And before you get to the James River Bridge and you hit the food line, you turn the corner and our office is there. Dina, Tammy, and I will be happy to assist you. We also have an Edward Jones office in Smithfield, and Phil Fricks and Jeffrey Scott will be also available to assist our community as we take care of what is important to you. And what is important to me was really handled very well by the other lovely lady on the broadcast, Ms. Kim Hasty. And that is something that's really something a lot of folks struggle with, is as I transition from one career to another, particularly for some of our military members, I have some of these benefits, how to use them, and how long are they available to me, which is actually part of why she's here, is because of the VA loan and what that does, that powerful opportunity that it gives to veterans. And as you probably can see from the flag in the background, the folded flag. So I did retire from the military to begin this career with Edward Jones, because I really love what the company stands for, which is character, competence, and then care for the client. I'm going to basically open up by saying you should always have something that your strategy, your financial plan should always address. And so part of that is making sure that you do address retirement, which is awesome. The other thing that you want to make sure that you address is preparing for the unexpected. And then you want to also talk about your estate. And so if I am a person that's transitioning from the military, that means that I've reached a certain higher tenure, I've reached my time in service, and I'm ready to look for some other career. But particularly for those of us that have had the opportunity to serve longer and reach retirement age, we should definitely think to make sure that how have we prepared? And so it doesn't matter what that second career looks like. You always want to make sure that you have thinking about where I want to go. But then there's that little gap called transitioning. And during that gap of transitioning, that's where you gather your data. And some of gathering your data could be talking to an expert like Kim to say, hey, I was a veteran. I'm looking to settle down in the Carrollton, Smithfield area. Should I rent? Should I buy a home? And I'm going to let Kim address what's available for veterans during that transition part.
So thank you, Keith. So the VA loans is a really great product. And I actually became familiar with the VA loans in a different aspect many years ago. When I first started in the housing industry, I was doing mortgage default counseling. And I had, in particular, two different cases come in, very unique situations. And the way the VA's offerings and the way they handled it, I was amazed. Out of all the other loan products, conventional and FHA and everything, I was absolutely amazed of what the VA did for their clients. And so I have always been a really firm supporter of the VA loans. So under VA loans, you have several different options. And a lot of people don't really understand this. Like you said, when they first transition out, they don't understand how many products are available to them. You know that you get some education stipend. You know there's this VA loan stuff, but really that's all people really kind of think about a lot of times. So they have several different products. They have a product to purchase, a regular fixed rate, purchase a home, no down payments required, 100% financing. There is hardly any other product out there that offers that. Everything's rolled into it. It's really great, especially for that first time home buyer that doesn't have down payment funds. It's a really awesome deal. And then there's refinancing options too. So if you already have a VA loan, you can refinance that. And actually, a lot of the normal expenses are not applied when you're refinancing a VA loan. So you don't incur expenses as if you had a conventional loan. But they also offer, VA has a renovation loan. So that will allow you either, if you already own a home, to refinance or and include some minor repairs, non-structural repairs. Or it also allows you to purchase and have repairs done. And the VA also has a one-time close, a construction to permanent loan close, which means it allows you to purchase the lot, finance the construction, and then close into a regular mortgage product with one closing. A lot of times when you do construction loans, you end up doing two closings. You have the original purchase of the property, and then you have the construction, and it converts into the permanent. That means you have two sets of closing costs, you have two appraisals. It's a lot of expenses, and this allows for you to do one. So it's a great savings. So there's quite a few products that VA does offer that is available. And I have found that there's a lot of myths or incorrect ideas over the VA loans, and a lot of times the veterans don't utilize it. And it's a great product, and I really don't know why people kind of have given the VA loans a bad rap. So
Kim, just to add on to that, and of course, I have been out of lending for a couple years now, but I used to do what you do now.
right.
When we talk about interest rates too, they are the interest rates for a VA loan. I'm assuming because it's still government backed, that they are much lower than what you're going to see like a conventional.
They are definitely, and especially like right now. I mean, we are still in historically low rates, period, across the board. Right now, the VA loans are the lowest, and they're amazing. You know, when you're talking 2.25%, they're great. So yeah, they have really low interest rates. The hard part is that depending on your veteran's situation, they may be required to pay what's called a funding fee. It's a one-time fee. In certain situations, that can be waived if they're receiving VA disability, if they are a surviving spouse. There's several things that can cause that to be waived. But sometimes, there is this funding fee, and it's not a set amount. It depends on the type of loan and also the individual themselves, if they've used their VA before and what have you. So that can kind of be a drawback in some situations. Everybody's situation is different. So sometimes that funding fee is a little bit of an extra expense that can kind of not be the most ideal situation. But again, in particular, when you are talking about a first-time home buyer and that funding fee can be financed in, it's a one-time fee. It's a great deal. No down payment, every 100% financing.
Down payment or mortgage insurance or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of VA loans too, when it actually makes me miss it as you're talking about it. I love working with the military. So, and just seeing their face when you're like, nope, you don't have to bring anything to closing. You're good.
Yeah.
No money.
Yeah. It's great.
So Kim, you mentioned surviving spouse.
Yes. So your surviving spouse, if the military member passed while in service, yeah, they can actually utilize the veterans benefit. So yes.
And really what you're really bringing up is making sure that we have education.
Yes.
And part of being educated really is that things are going to happen. And so what we have to do is just prepare for anything that happens that's unexpected.
Yeah.
And so from a financial perspective, you're right. Whether we want to be able to fund for a house or we want to use the thing is, if we don't know about it, we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
So if we have emergency cash on hand, which is very important, if we do have the safeguards of life insurance, and then just remembering, I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. Even our weather forecasters are 70, 80, 90%, even the best models. And so what we do is we prepare. We find experts that can help us be educated on that as we prepare.
Yeah, in fact, one of the cases when I first started talking about when I was doing the mortgage default counseling, one of those cases was a couple came in, and the husband, the veteran, had been diagnosed with very progressive stage 4 lung cancer and was only given a few months to live. And so that is what we did, was sit down and work on making sure that the wife was going to be able to maintain the mortgage and maintain the home afterwards. And that was, like I said, the VA was just, they were, okay, we'll do this. And it was amazing. I mean, just the support that was given to them was just absolutely amazing. So like going back to what you just said, you don't know, things do happen.
Okay.
And yeah, it was that was a great eye-opening experience. To like I said, that was my welcome into the VA world, and it was really cool.
Yeah. And you mentioned something there which to me is near and dear to my heart, and that is making sure also that we think about estate and legacy. And so if we are educated and we're educating our members, we're also making sure that from a legal perspective, we're taking care of them by, going to the law firms in town and asking about, do I need a will? Do I need a trust? Do I need things like that? And then how do I do that? And then what am I teaching the folks that we're leaving after me from a legacy perspective? And so, this can give us purpose and peace. And so just like, tell us a little bit about some of the folks that you have been able to help get that VA loan. What's come up afterwards? How have they felt? What happens after?
Oh, wow. I think, well, okay, I'm working with a client now who actually had been discouraged to use his VA benefit. So he had a conventional loan. He's actually looking to remodel his current home in the preparation of his retirement and remaining in the home. They have decided to stay in the home, so there were several things they wanted to do, and I'm able to go from that conventional loan that he has, refinancing, add in the rehab work that's going to be done, which is a good amount. This wasn't just, $5,000 to change out, kitchen cabinets or something. He's doing some major work to prepare for accessibility issues and things like that. And all of that, and because it's VA, because it's such a low interest rate, because of I'm able to keep his payments actually a little bit below what he's paying now.
Wow.
I mean, that's, he's getting more,
Yes.
and also preparing, going back to what you were talking about, preparing long term,
Yeah.
and financially, he's still going to have a savings.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There was some research that actually said that about 31% of new retirees struggle to find a purpose after retirement. And so by alleviating that stress off of the mortgage, I think we can give them the opportunities to then relax when they look for work. Or maybe they want to volunteer. And what a great location to volunteer at Smithfield, Carrollton. We have some wonderful civic organizations here that really could use our help, whether at the museum, whether at the Ruritan's Club, whether at the Kiwanis, whether at the Rotary. We have some awesome organizations out here that could use our helps, or just pursuing your hobby. How about rafting down to the Pagan River? I mean,
Yeah.
or even better, continue your education. We have a poly camp right around the corner. So if we can help alleviate some of that stress, then that can then help them be able to find that other passion that helps them as they continue to build our community.
Yes, I agree. I agree 100%. And so I want to turn the wheel back to you into something you just said, transitioning out, especially as a veteran, if you don't go into a civil service position. I understand that a lot of times that really is very difficult to transition to a civilian 9-to-5 job. So yeah, I mean, imagine if you could do that and still know that you could purchase a home, not have down payment, finance it totally. That's great.
It is. It's awesome. And you are correct, because even when I moved from the military life where I was wearing the same, shirt, jacket, and for 20 years, except for when they changed the uniform, now I have to figure out, does this tie match? Does this, okay, what about my socks? So even something as minute as that. But the fact that I did have a VA loan, I didn't have to worry about that. I mean, so it was good. It was taken care of. There was no extra things going on. I had a low rate. But that also boils down to making sure you know what your income needs are.
Right.
And if you know what your income needs are, which means, do I know my expenses? Do I know what this is going to cost me health-wise? And for our veterans, I mean, that is one huge benefit of being a veteran, is the healthcare system, even if some people may or may not like it, that is a huge savings for them. So if we put savings on savings, then the only other thing we need to make sure we do is, what is it going to cost when I get old and I have no teeth and I can't remember who I am? And that's why I think one time we had Martha on, so she could tell us about, long-term care that we have here locally, and, some other folks that can serve those needs. But you have all that here in our community.
Yes.
But if I have that freedom, that's important. But I'm going to bring something else, though. You mentioned, so if I do get that financial windfall from refinancing, what should I do?
You go talk to Keith.
Well, yeah, but the basics are, you're right. But first, it's got to have a conversation with Kim first.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. The VA does allow for shorter term mortgages. It doesn't have to be a 30-year. It could be a 20-year. It could be a 15-year, which means you're still taking the same loan amount. You're compacting it, so your monthly payment may go up, but more of your monthly payment will be applied to your principal, because when you do that, your interest rates are usually better, your pricing's usually better. So you were going to see that mortgage, the actual principal, come down a lot quicker than if it's spread out in 30 years.
Yeah.
And then that means you're debt free a little bit sooner.
Woohoo! We can all yell and scream to be able to do that. And to me, really, it's also making sure that, again, you find the experts. The chamber is a great place to get connected with the experts that we have around, not just for each individual, but for those that are in businesses. I mean, the way I look at things, if I get a windfall, I'm going to make sure my emergency fund is stocked up, so I have my expenses. I'm going to make sure that I do invest for my retirement. Might as well take advantage of every little break Uncle Sugar gives me, whether it's my traditional Roth or 401. I'm going to get rid of some of that debt, so all I have to worry about is that house payment. And if we got little rugrats running around the house, maybe save for their education a little bit. It just depends.
Yeah.
But then most importantly, get advice.
Yes. And that is one thing when I'm talking to my clients, and that is an option. There is some money there. There is an option to, let's look at everything now. What would get you set? Is there some debt hanging out there, or are you really applying, your maximum amount to your IRAs, or, preparing for that college fund, which seems like I've had several people lately sending their kids off to college.
Yep.
It's not cheap. Is it, Keith?
It is not, no, especially if they want to have a degree that is accredited and then do some sort of sport. Those colleges can get you. Which you brought something up really early, and so did Jessica, and that was interest rates. And so interest rates are low.
Yeah.
Take advantage of them. And so if interest rates are low, we take advantage of them. But then the corollary to that is that short-term savings is not going to earn a lot for me. So if I'm a short-term saving type of person, and I always like CDs and money markets, just understand they're not going to keep pace with inflation, nor were those products designed ever to keep pace with inflation. And that's why you find experts to help you with that. That's why I've talked to a lot of folks are refinancing with Kim, because if I can get my mortgage below 3%, that's below the historic average of inflation. Then what can I do with the rest? Well, like I said, I stock up my emergency fund, I plus up my retirement, and then I go for the advice that helps me to earn more than inflation within my tolerance for risk.
And I saw a statistic recently, just within the past couple of weeks, that even though we've had this refi boom and stuff, that there's still like 40% of homeowners with interest rates above 4%. And that is amazing right at the moment because we can get them so much lower. But at the same time, 4%, what isn't a bad rate, because I always tell, especially the younger people, ask your parents and your grandparents what their interest rates were. You will understand 4% really isn't that bad.
That's right.
But you've got like 40% of the population, homeowners, I won't say population, homeowners, that still have over 44% interest rates at this time. And that's just, you could be saving so much money.
And case in point, someone that you refied, Miss Dina S, mentioned to me the other day that because you helped her refi, they were able to then take care of their budget. They increased their IRAs, and they even plussed up a kid's 529. Speaking of the kids and the running around and getting them out of the house. So what a boon. And so, I mean, if our veterans or use the possibilities of using that VA loan can really do some wonders, which then translates into helping our community be even stronger.
Right. And, especially, with our community, there's a big push in small businesses and stuff.
Mhm.
And that's a beautiful opportunity for veterans to start, like you said, take their hobby, make it a business. And there's a lot of resources specific to veterans for starting businesses. ODU has one. I think the Small Business Association has one. But that will give you the funds to be able to start your own business.
That's right.
So now you're a homeowner and a business owner.
That's right. Well, we can pause here, Jessica and Kristen, and see if there's some questions that folks have.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, does anyone on the call have any questions for Keith or Kim? I was trying to keep an eye on it as you guys were chatting. Lots of information coming out. So, and again, everyone who's watching this, you can access it later on our YouTube page, and it's live on Facebook, so it'll be saved as a video. And if you know a veteran or someone who's going to be getting out of the military or looking to purchase a home, please share this video with them. Education is key. I know just back from my lending days, especially with those first-time home buyers and their military, just sitting down and educating them, they had no idea the benefits of a VA loan.
No.
And sometimes they would get money back at the closing table. A lot of times they would.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
And they're just like, wow, I just never knew this was even an option for me. And with the requirements, and of course, I know loan guidelines changed so much, and I've been out of it. So if you have questions, you got to call Kim, not me. I don't know. But I always advocate for that VA loan. If you're eligible for it, you need to try to go after it because the rates are so good, 100% financing. And for the most part, no closing costs. You can finance that in to a certain degree, or your sellers pay for it or whatnot. And it's just an all around win-win.
Yeah.
There's other loan programs out there.
And then if you are able to be exempt from the funding fee and everything, it's a great product. But like I said, there's a lot of misconceptions over it. People don't push it. Lenders don't push it because there are some restrictions on how much we can make off of it. So I can profit more off of a conventional loan. But really, to me, I want you to go VA because it is so much more beneficial to you. It's not about me. That is a beneficial product to the veteran. It's amazing. So.
Absolutely. I don't see any questions, everyone. But while because we're approaching our 30-minute mark here, and we try to keep these 20 to 30 minutes so we don't bore everybody or they don't tune out, and we still have all of our attendees that are logged in. So Keith and Kim, can you take a moment and just tell everyone how to get in contact with you all? And of course, we'll post that too as our follow-up. But just your phone number, email address, where you're located.
You want to start, Keith?
Yeah, whoever.
I'll defer to Kim.
Well, I'm Kim Hasty with CMS Mortgage. I'm here in Smithfield, and my email address is kim@cmsmortgage.com. And my phone number is 757-619-7561. I don't call myself,
You
so
don't call yourself, that's right.
I had to think about it. But we are a mortgage broker, which means that we work with multiple providers, loan providers, and we're able to find a loan that fits you instead of trying to fit you into a mortgage. And we have lenders, we have loan officers licensed not just within the state of Virginia, but quite a few states, mainly on the East Coast, some out west, Texas and stuff. But we do have lenders licensed in multiple states, so we can help you with that too.
So if you have a vacation home you want to purchase in the Outer Banks,
Got you covered.
yep.
Or Florida, or
Florida.
Maryland.
Yeah. And I'm Keith
That's
Compton,
awesome.
as I said before. I have the Edward Jones office in Carrollton. And you can find me at 757-238-2740 and keith.compton@edwardjones.com. But again, we have two Edward Jones. We're very fortunate to have two Edward Jones in Carrollton, Smithfield. Phil Fricks and Jeffrey Scott's the other office. But if you do want to know really more about us, and we have several wonderful calculators, www.edwardjones.com. We have talking about, preparing for retirement, preparing for the unexpected, and then how to make sure that you are planning for your estate. But the most important thing that to us is to understand the why. That way we can use our network. If I have a question or concern, or want to find someone in Smithfield, Carrollton, I can call Jessica. Hey, do we have someone that does this local? If someone needs a mortgage or someone has something else, I can tap Kim and ask her, which I don't have to memorize her phone number because it's in my phone. I just press the button, or I go, Siri, call Kim. And amazingly, it works. I get a response. And that's important too. And if you need us for anything, we're here local. And we're here
Yes.
for our community.
You brought up a great point, Keith. Just everyone who's listening and who will see this video, I don't think our community realizes how many phone calls the chamber receives for referrals on a daily basis. Every day we are receiving phone calls, emails, or Facebook messages. Hey, who do you recommend for such and such? Who do you recommend for such and such? So I don't know if our community really realizes that. And that's one of our core functions here at the chamber, is to refer our fabulous members like Keith and Kim when you're in need of a service or any goods. So please don't ever hesitate to reach out to us if you have questions about referrals or services in need. And we also have a Facebook page that's not our chamber page. It's actually IOW Biz Hub. And that is a Facebook group, actually. And you can join that. You don't have to be a business owner to join that. You can just be a community member. And you can go onto that group and ask your community, hey, who do you recommend for this good or service? And more chances than not, there's going to be someone on there that is a business in the area that can provide that for you. So I like to remind everyone about that Facebook group because it has like 1,500 members at this point. And they're vetted, we look and they have to request to join, and we make sure that they're, they have a connection somehow to the county or the town. They live here or are local, so the group can function the way it's supposed to. But, please don't hesitate to go on and ask, because that's what we're here for.
Great.
All right. Well, I don't see any questions. So our chat is going to come to a close here. Thank you so much, Keith and Kim, for your time. And, thank you for everything you've put into this, Keith, and sourcing our speakers. And you put a lot of time into it. And it's been such a pleasure hosting these with you. And we've just had some great speakers over the last year. I can't believe we've been doing it for a year. And it's halfway through 2021 already. It's just kind of wild when you think about it. But we're opening back up, and I love this platform because we can record it and it's saved for years and years and years to come, so you can go back and reference it. But again, thank y'all so much for your time. And if there's no questions, we're going to go ahead and hop off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
See you later.